Okay, we are recording the go-to meeting for month 2, and it's week 4. It's Thursday afternoon. In attendance, just myself. Once again, doesn't look as though the go-to schedule worked out for many people in this class this month. So hopefully the PDFs have been working for you to understand some new concepts and to uh, help guide you in what you should be thinking as you are practicing the various competencies associated with the assignments. But something I need to discuss with you that has not been covered in a PDF too deeply just yet is the idea of the fourth degree learning outcome of acquiring competencies. And I just want to point out to you guys that a competency is not just a skill or technique, which very often we realize that students seem to think it is. But the reality is that a competency is anything that you can do successfully or efficiently. If we'll take the Google search definition of competency, the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. And that can apply to thinking processes as well. And while you guys have done a lot of sketching and a lot of thinking and ideation in this particular month, it might seem like that's sort of excuse the pun, a no-brainer, but the ideation process is something that you can actually become more efficient at with the more practice that you give it. And sketching is part of that. So the competency of understanding sketching can be a competency that you've gained throughout this program. The competency of ideation and being able to go from one idea to another more rapidly because you've had experience with sketching it out is something that can be considered an acquired competency when all is said and done with the program. Also, being able to talk about your work, something that you've had to do a little bit more now, and you'll be doing in your mastery journals, can be a competency. Understanding a particular process, understanding the idea of synthesis, being able to effectively define synthesis and the other degree learning outcomes can be a competency. All of that, along with your amazing abilities to, use drop shadows in new and exciting ways, or whatever you happen, whatever sort of skill or technique it is that you personally are looking for. Do not overlook ideation and process as competencies that can be acquired. It has been mentioned, of course, that these 4 degree learning outcomes will be important, and it is the measure against which you will earn your degree. But I just want to point that out one more time so that it doesn't go unnoticed, and that the more attention you can spend, especially in these week 4 practices of writing about your work with to the 4 degree learning outcomes, the better off you will be from by the time you get up into your thesis month 11. So the more you can actually practice this and pay attention to it earlier on, the better off you're going to be. I just want to point that out. This is also our last meeting. I haven't received a whole lot of correspondence from many of you with questions or anything. And for the most part, the work seems to be pretty good, so there's not a whole lot to be worried about there. If you are someone who has not been turning in work, and of which there are a couple, then you will probably see that you've been immediately rescheduled to start the class again next month. If you have any questions about that, or you see that come up, then be sure to contact me as soon as possible. It's been a pleasure at our limited amount of time together. It's been a pleasure, and we will see each other again in future months as you progress. Thank you for your time. Take care.